I was inspired to make this video after seeing music review on the internet be so terrible over the past couple of years. So I have two goals with this video. One, I'm going to show you how to effectively review rap music. And two, I'm going to show you a little bit of my criteria so you can actually see what I'm looking for. That way it doesn't seem super biased, or the fact that you can understand where my subjectivity is coming from, which a lot of people don't know how to address and actually point out, and it actually hurts their review because of it. If you know your own subjectivities and you're able to point that out, you actually make your review more dynamic. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and therefore they make their opinions seem like facts when that's obviously not the case. So let's be clear. I'm talking about lyrical rap here. I love dense technical ability, so I'm going to be specifically talking about rap music in that sense. So the first thing I notice is that instant reactions are prevalent. People take one take of music, they hear it one time, one listen, and because of that, their reactions are actually lacking in quality, and they recycle past opinions that they've heard about the artist. And that to me is a horrible thing to do. So number one, or I guess after that point, is that you listen to the project more than one time. You need to listen to it more than once. Do you understand most of the lines? Can you recite any of the lyrics? And you will understand why that's important, in that you've now had time to sit with it and actually make a review rather than just a weird first reaction that kind of masquerades also as a review. And that to me is much more compelling to listen to and actually give a good understanding of. Now, understandably, you might not want to do this with an artist like Lil Pump because you probably could get the majority of what he's saying the first time, and you can honestly see the lack of quality in that probably in the first point. But for artists who are known to be dense lyricists or people who have much more meaning, you have to sit with it more than that. So I'm going to assume that you get the point there. So here's a point about me. I'm a slow listener. I listen to projects months at a time. I'll leave a project and I'll come back to it months later sometimes. I did that with KOD. So it took me a while to even tell people what my opinion of J. Cole's KOD was. And I really loved it when I finished. And that's just an example of why you can't just listen to something one time when it's actually really dense ability. I'm still going back to projects like this. I actually just went back to Droga's Wave this past week, and it was really dope. And like Mural and, Welcome to Timbuktu, like those tracks are still so dope, but coming back to it, I can appreciate it more. And I did that with Revival, and that was really helpful. Now on to my second point. I would love for you guys to read along with the lyrics, especially in your second and your third, etc. listens, because you catch more bars when you can see it written out. And this is especially the case with people like Eminem. And the reason why is that they write specifically to help with their rhyme schemes, to hide, little nuances in the metaphors and the wordplay that they're having. For example, on M's new project, Music to Be Murdered By, and he kind of gives it away by re-saying it on the track Marsh. He goes in on the scheme where he's talking about like smoking, but he's talking about giving people an L, and getting puff on a joint. And in that line, he says it the first time where he says like, I should quit beefing because I've already given people an L and I'd rather see them in hell, and I should get puff on a joint, referring to P. Diddy. Now he says it again, the line where he says, wait, roll it back, inhale, smoke on the joint, I'm the blunt you avoid. And he's explicitly stating it for you, because I think he's kind of tongue in cheek, when he was saying that the bars went over people's head over these past couple of years. If he just said that first line the first time, you wouldn't necessarily catch that unless you're also seeing it or after you listen to it a number of times. And that's why it's important to me to have it written out where you can see it as well, especially after you listen to it a few times. And I feel like more people will benefit by doing that. So in general, I don't trust people who call a lyrical rapper's project trash as soon as it drops. Because I'm like, how many times did you listen to it? Can you justifiably call this trash after one listen? So like people like Eminem, Cole, Kendrick, Lupe, Black Thought, etc. You have to give them more time than a quick first listen. So that's enough on that for now. The last point I'm going to make, because I can make this video very long, but these are the 3 main things I want you to focus in on. Stop trying to make every rapper sound like your favorite rapper. Honestly, it's not a good idea. You have to take people like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem for who they are. They all excel in different ways. Even if I just talk about those 3 specifically, Eminem, of course, is all about technical rapping ability and being on the right pocket and experimenting with the flows in ways that land right on the beats at the right time. He is very, very specific and OCD like in his attention to detail with words and rhyming and metaphors. So it's like, this makes sense. So that's how you should be looking at Eminem. J. Cole, more straightforward, very relatable music, actually has a really cool voice, and he kind of uses that to his advantage. And he's all about making messages that are geared toward helping the community grow. So take that as with. He's like a message guy. He's probably following the footsteps of one of his favorites, Nas. And then you have Kendrick, who I would probably say is more of a thematic artist, and he does have a lot of great technical ability as well. And he can really rap and like using his rhyme schemes, but he likes changing his voice and experimenting with the sound. And you have to take those 3 guys and allow their strengths to come out in their music and judge them based upon that. Now, you can obviously say that they maybe can improve in some other ways that other rappers are doing some things, but to just continually drop them down because they're not doing the same thing that your favorite rapper is doing, that's pretty dishonest in my opinion. And so that's why I say you have to stop trying to make them sound like your favorite rapper. So if I review this, look, the first point, listen to the project more than once. 2, read along with the lyrics as you continue to listen to the song more and more. And 3, stop trying to make every rapper sound like your favorite rapper. If you do those things, you can have better understandings and reviews of music. And you don't necessarily have to agree with my review or anybody else's, but if you do these things, I'm more likely to trust and believe that you actually took your time with the project and gave a sincere review of it. So thank you for listening. I'll catch you next time.